The dust storms of the frontier plains rolled in long copper waves as the sun dipped behind the horizon. In that fading light, the young human named Aaron moved carefully along the cracked ridge, carrying a small scanner at his belt. He had lived his entire life on this border world, where human settlers tried to coexist with the wandering tribes of the Skyborn. His village lay several kilometers behind him, but he had ventured out because the night watch reported strange lights on the ridgeline earlier. Aaron, curious by nature and known for boldness beyond his years, felt compelled to investigate. He had no expectation that his quiet walk would collide with a moment that would change the balance between species. He certainly did not expect to find a wounded alien princess lying among the shattered stones. Aaron first noticed a faint purple glow sprouting from a narrow crevice along the ridge. At first he thought it was some mineral reacting to the coming darkness. But then he heard a small groan, thin as a winter breeze but undeniable. The sound made him halt. He adjusted the scanner, but it flickered uselessly. He set it aside and hurried toward the crevice. There she was, a young skyborn woman with pale silver markings along her arms and temples. Her clothing was torn, and a small pool of shimmering liquid gathered at her side. It was not quite blood, more like bioluminescent gel, and it pulsed weakly with her heartbeat. Aaron knelt beside her. She struggled to lift her head, her voice trembled. "Please do not fear me. My name is Lena. I am hurt. Ari felt his pulse leap. He knew enough of the Skyborn to recognize that the markings on her face indicated nobility. With sudden clarity, he realized she must be a princess, or something close to that rank. If she had fallen here alone, then something terrible must have occurred. He steadied himself and replied gently, "You are safe with me. Tell me what happened." She shook her head weakly. "Ambush by the ridge. A beast. I ran. Lost my escort." Aaron scanned the shadows nervously. The frontier held many hostile creatures. Some stalked the cliffs like silent phantoms. Others were brutal predators with thick hide and venomous claws. If any of those creatures lingered nearby, then Lina remained at risk. And so did he. He shifted his stance to shield her. "Can you walk?" She tried to rise, but her leg buckled. The bioluminescent gel pulsed brighter for a moment, and then dimmed. She winced. Not far. Not fast. Ian thought quickly. His village was too distant, and the path too exposed. But a small outpost, abandoned decades earlier, lay only a short run from here. If he could get her there, perhaps he could treat the wound and send for help in the morning. He gripped her forearm gently. "Lean on me. We will move together." She hesitated. "Why help me?" "Your people fear mine." He managed a small smile. "My people fear what they do not understand. But you are hurt, and I am here. That is enough." She stared at him as though she had never heard such a simple truth. Then she nodded. He lifted her slowly, guiding her weight against his shoulder. Together they started toward the old outpost. They moved only a dozen steps before the night split with a roar. The beast burst from behind a shattered boulder, its four limbs pounding the ground, its hide dark as coal and riddled with jagged spines. Its eyes glowed with hungry fury. It had caught their scent and meant to finish what it had begun earlier. Aaron shoved Lena behind a slab of stone. "Run when you can." "I will distract it." Lena opened her mouth in horror. "You cannot fight that." Aaron did not argue. He grabbed a loose metal rod from the ground, hardly a weapon, but better than bare hands. He stepped between Lina and the beast. His heart hammered, but terror sharpened his focus. The creature lunged. Aaron rolled aside and swung the rod, striking its flank. The blow barely slowed it. The beast snapped at him with rows of serrated teeth. Aaron scrambled backward and planted himself firmly. For a moment, the beast paused to assess its prey. Then it coiled again. This time, when it lunged, Aaron charged forward instead of retreating. He jammed the metal rod between its jaws. The force of its bite shattered the rod, sending fragments flying. The beast howled in frustration and whipped its head, its spines grazing Aaron's shoulder. Aaron fell to one knee. The beast rose above him, and Lina appeared behind Aaron, gripping a small crystalline shard that glowed with fierce white light. She thrust the shard at the beast's snout. Light erupted from it, searing the air. The beast reeled, but not before its claw slashed across Aaron's arm and sank its fangs briefly into his shoulder. Pain tore through him. He staggered. The beast scraped backward, blinded by the glare, then retreated into the darkness with a guttural hiss. Aaron collapsed. Lina caught him as best she could. No, no, no. She pressed her hand to the wound on his shoulder. The gel on her palm reacted to the injury, glowing faintly. He felt a wave of warmth wash through him, but the pain continued throbbing. Her voice trembled. That bite carries poison. Aaron tried to speak, but only managed a faint exhale. She lifted his head and looked into his eyes. Hold on. I will save you. She dragged him the rest of the way to the old outpost, using her last strength. When they reached the doorway, she nearly collapsed beside him, but forced herself to keep moving. Inside the outpost, she located an ancient generator panel. Her fingers danced over the interface. After a tense moment, soft lights flickered to life. She pulled Aaron inside and laid him across a flat bench. His breathing had grown ragged. The venom spread like ice through his veins. Lina bowed her head close to his. Stay awake. Do not leave, he whispered hoarsely. You should have run. She shook her head sharply. I will not abandon the one who saved me. She tore a strip of cloth from her clothing and bound the wound, letting her gel-like blood infuse the bandage. The mixture slowed the venom, but could not cleanse it entirely. Aaron drifted in and out of consciousness. As dawn approached, footsteps echoed outside the outpost. The Skyborn had come. A full escort of armored warriors swept through the area, followed by a towering figure with regal posture and glowing markings even more elaborate than Lina's. This was her father, the leader of the Skyborn people. The warriors rushed forward when they saw Lina. She raised a weak hand. Do not harm him. He saved me. Her father moved toward her, his face a mask of relief and fury. Lina, you vanished. Your escort was slain. We searched the plains all night. Then he saw Aaron lying on the bench, pale and trembling. His expression darkened. Who is this human? Why is he injured beside you? Lina clutched her father's arm. He defended me from the beast. He fought alone. He risked everything. Without him, I would be dead. Her father's stern gaze softened only slightly. He examined Aaron with a practiced eye and saw the telltale signs of venom. He turned to his chief healer. Can we save him? The healer hesitated. The venom works fast. He is strong to have lasted this long, but only one treatment can purge it fully. The bonding elixir. But that is reserved for the royal line. Her father clenched his jaw. It binds life force. Its use creates permanent ties. It is no small thing. Lina faced him with resolve he had rarely seen in her. He deserves to live. And if he dies, our honor dies with him. Her father looked from his daughter to the human boy who had risked himself to shield her. In that moment, he saw not a stranger, but an ally forged in crisis. His voice grew heavy but decisive. Then we will honor him, he signaled to the healer. Prepare the elixir. The healer mixed the rare luminescent liquid, which shimmered in hues of blue and gold. He administered it carefully, placing drops along Aaron's wound and letting the fluid seep into the bloodstream. The reaction was immediate. Aaron convulsed as warmth surged through him, then slowly eased as the venom retreated. Lina held his hand until his breathing stabilized. After a long moment, his eyes opened. He stared up at the alien faces surrounding him, startled and confused. Lina smiled weakly. "You are safe. My people came." Her father stepped forward. "Human boy, you saved my daughter. For that, our people owe you a debt that cannot be measured. The elixir you received binds you to our clan. Your life is tied to ours. You are under our protection from this day." Aaron blinked slowly. He had not expected such consequences. He struggled to sit upright. "I only did what was right." Her father nodded. "That is why you are now part of something greater." He turned to his warriors. "See that he is transported with care." Lina remained at Aaron's side as they moved him to a waiting transport craft. She lowered her voice so only he could hear. "When the beast struck you, I thought you would fall and never rise again. But you stood. You fought. You protected me. I will never forget that." Rin managed a faint smile, still feeling the warmth of the elixir in his veins. "I could not leave you." Her eyes glimmered with emotion. Then she said softly, "The bond is real now. Our lives are linked. Wherever I go, a part of you comes with me. And wherever you go, I will feel your presence. That is the price of the elixir. But it is also its gift." Aaron absorbed this slowly. He had not set out to change the fate of an entire tribe. He had simply acted from instinct and compassion. But now, the alien leader had claimed him as one of their own. Lina had accepted him as bound to her clan. His future had taken a turn he could never have predicted. As the transport lifted into the morning sky, Lina leaned gently against him. He could sense the depth of her gratitude, and through the faint flicker of the elixir's bond, he could feel her heartbeat echoing with his own. It was subtle yet undeniable, a connection that crossed the gulf between species. In the days that followed, the sky